All right, we're going to talk about treats, how to give them, or why it may or may not be okay to give them, or maybe it is okay. That's what we're going to dive into. And this is really more of a video about how horses tick and how to help them become the horse that you want them to be, right? So think of the concept of this. Imagine you've got this horse standing, let's say, a few feet away from you. Let's say this horse comes up and kind of sniffs and nuzzles, and you give him a treat and love on him. Cool, right? That in itself, no big deal. Most of the time, if we were to fast forward a couple years, 3 years, sometimes more, sometimes less, that is the horse that is pinning its ears at feeding time at the human, probably some nipping and biting of the human and things like that. Now, usually when you hear about biting horses and treats, etc., the thing you'll typically hear is, nope, don't give your horse treats. It makes them crowd your space and all these kind of things. And that may or may not be true. And this is why this is more about just knowing how to be around horses than maybe giving them or not giving them treats, right? So let's say you've got this horse that's kind of learned to come in and crowd and maybe nips every now and then to get the treat. Okay, well, a really good way to go about changing that is, this is just an example, something along these lines. You would keep your hand closed as he was kind of nuzzling your hand and maybe crowding you a little bit and things like that. And you would just keep that hand closed, and then you might even kind of shush him off of you a little bit. And when he kind of yields and gets off a little bit, you would immediately, right at that instant, you would open your hand and you would go to him before he had a chance to come to you. Open your hand, hand him the treat. And then you could repeat this. Before long, you would have it to where that horse would kind of figure out that the only way to get the treat is by yielding out of your space, and maybe even standing waiting patiently out of your bubble for 30 seconds, and then later on, 40 seconds, whatever. So whether you should or should not give treats has nothing to do with the treat itself or the type of horse or the type of person or whatever. See, that's where people have trouble with horses. They think it operates as a button A6 causes B7, and that's not how horses work. It's all about the timing. When you understand that horses don't really learn to do anything right and they don't really learn to do anything wrong. They learn to do what consistently is a good deal, and they learn to do less of what consistently kind of comes off as a bad deal. And when you really get that concept and kind of keep it ingrained in the back of your mind, that is a huge key to being able to have amazing, huge changes for the better with your horse. So whether you give treats or not, no matter what it is you're doing, no matter what it is that you're doing with your horse, try to do it with some tact and realize that you are working with a mind, something that thinks and feels and has memory and can make associations. Make sure that you are not being the type of person that makes that go down a bad path, so to speak. Think about what you're doing. That's the moral of the story. If you'd like to get more videos like this one, you can become a Carson James Insider. It's completely free, and just go here for the details. See you next time.